So make sure you have time, people, before you start this.
Should have cooked the onions and garlic off first. That's kind of... Oh well, it'll be fine.
Looks awesome.
So I'm gonna go grab some stock. I believe how much stock? I cannot see it. Stock. Okay, I'll find that. 2.5 quarts. Okay. I do not have fish stock. I never see that at the superstore. They should. So I just use chicken stock anyways, which is just as good. If not better.
Chicken.
I have no idea what a quart is, so I'm just going to put in a lot of it. And eye it up. Got the Campbell's chicken stock. I liked it the way they had before. They changed the recipe on it. It's completely different, but I'm kind of growing on it now. So this has got to come to heat, which will be a few minutes. So it's sitting there, and then I will get other things prepped. What this gumbo calls for is, doesn't call for tomato, but I really like adding tomato, and adds a really richness to it. And these are my fresh homegrown tomatoes that are froze, so I guess they're not fresh, but nice tomatoes that add a great flavor. So I use about maybe half a cup. I'll just chop that off and throw it in and mix it in, and then cook that off, and adds a real nice flavor to it.
Right.
Tomatoey. And not too much tomato. It doesn't want to be a tomato soup. It just kind of adds a thickener, a little bit of flavor. And so this is going to have to cook off for about 5 to 10 minutes. Keep it moving and add a little bit of stock sooner than later just to get it kind of sweating, sweat the onions and the mirepoix. Taking my tomato out. Taking the tomato out, and this is frozen solid. I don't know how many tomatoes are in there, but I'll roughly cut off like an ice block. And this is more just for a bit of flavor to it, which I like. Maybe a little bit more. Then I'm messing around with cans and everything, and throw that back in. Set that aside. Then I'm just gonna throw this into, I have a blender thing, I don't know what I did with it. Where did I put my blender?
Blender thing.
Don't grab dirty dishes. This is, I just used this a little while ago, so still throw it in. Throw that in, I'm gonna microwave the tomato to get them going. Maybe like 30 seconds. So this is cooking up, it's starting to smell good.
Yeah, it does.
I'll turn the heat up. Really cook this down. And I like to add a little bit of stock ahead of time, just gets stuff sweating, get some moisture and steam it a bit, which isn't a big deal. Just turn up the heat high and so as you can see, I just added a bit of stock to that, and still really instantly got thicker than it was, and that's what the roux does. It thickens everything and makes it a nice gumbo. So tomatoes are kind of good. So tomato flavor. I have a NutriBullet. Run out of flour I don't need. Then I will plug the NutriBullet in. Keep the roux going, so I'll leave that.
Sorry for the movement, people. Trying to help the chef.
I'm getting jam-packed with it. And this is why I should be pre-prepared. Here it is. Just going to blend the tomato. I probably could have put more in there. It's not a lot. I think I have a tomato paste I might throw in too. Yeah, I definitely should have done more tomato. Oh well. Too late. So this is starting to smell great. Wish I had the okra. It's not in season. Doesn't really, don't get it in Canada. Not that I've ever seen it. And so I grow my own.
Yeah, we're Canadian, eh?
Not enough time in the year for okra. I don't think too many people really like it or use it. I don't know what to use it in other than a gumbo. I haven't really looked it up, but so I guess it's a gumbo thing. Kind of an odd vegetable or whatever it is, a pod, nightshade maybe. And I swear I had a tomato paste in here. Do not know where I put it.
You lost the tomato paste.
Gone.
Is another one in the cupboard?
I don't know. I think that was the last one. Maybe I'll just throw a little more tomato in it. Yeah, that's not important. Just a tomato flavor. It doesn't call for any tomato in it in this recipe. So, find the way it is. But this roux is cooking off with the mirepoix. I'm gonna keep that moving. It's gonna be nice and chunky, and then the rice I'm gonna throw in with it. And it doesn't call for rice to be thrown into it, but I cook it off. I add more stock than needed, and then cook off the roux with the rice in it. So the rice is really flavorful, and I like to use a basmati because it doesn't stick together and get all clumpy, and the grains stay separated for it.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Oh, could you imagine sticky rice with this? With the roux, it'd be like super sticky.
No sticky rice, people.
It would not work out well. It'd be like a pudding.
Rice pudding, anyone.
I made that for a while. So that's on super high. I'm going to turn that down. And that's been about 5 minutes. Going to keep that going. Gonna get more tomato, just because I like tomato. Nice solid chunk. Throw that in there. Thank you.
No problem. The assistant. Camera person.
Need one for this pro. That's about it for the tomato. That's nice and thick. So I believe I am to add the stock now. And I'm going to get the sausages cooking, which I like in the in it, as well as the bacon and shrimp.
Shrimp.
So that's pretty good. It says 2.5 quarts. I have no idea what a quart is. I have a measuring cup that might know. 4 cups.
Look it up.
Liters. Yeah, I just Google it. It's a quart a liter. Okay. Well, I'm just going to do it anyways. I think I know. Let me get the... Actually, that can take a second. Let me look it up. Hot top's right here.
Oh, please.
So we just figured out 1 cup, or 1 quart is 4 cups, I believe. Calls for 2.5, but I'm not doing a huge recipe, so I think just 4 cups or 1 quart will be good. But then I'm doing the rice. I have 1.5 cups of rice, which calls for 1 cup calls for 1.5 cups of water. So actually I'm going to not put the rest of that in. Probably too much. So I got that going. Now what I'm going to do is get this stirring up. I'm going to bring it to a boil. And this will all thicken up. I'm going to throw in the tomato too, get the flavor in there. And the rice has been sitting. Just give you a nice tomatoey stock. Bring that to a boil, and you got to bring it to a boil to start getting thick. I think this is the correct way to do it. So now I'm going to want the Cajun spice, which is somewhere back here. Cajun.
He has to find it.
Want to get the spice in ahead of time. 1 teaspoon thyme, 1 teaspoon cayenne. Cajun, how much Cajun spice? Green onion, whole tomato, parsley, I do not see where the Cajun spice is. I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons, roughly. I like it spicy. Got that. Need the thyme, which I should have gotten out. Find it. It's a terrible counter for it. There we go. Thyme. 1 teaspoon thyme, roughly about that. And 1 teaspoon cayenne for the spice. You like it spicier, you can do more. It's about a teaspoon. Get that all mixed up. Believe I'm doing this right. I haven't made this for a while. So we get that going. Now I'm going to get these sausages getting cut up. I'm going to cook off the sausages ahead of time. I'm going to throw it in near the end with the shrimp and the bacon after. So it says to simmer for an hour. That really gets the vegetables a lot softer over time. But yeah, if you like them crunchier, then it's no big deal. You don't have to cook it off too long. I'm going to keep it at a low heat for now, just kind of have it simmer. All that spice lobbed in there. Gotta get the salt in. I believe it has salt. Worcestershire, salt, and cayenne. I can't seem to find where the Worcestershire sauce is. I'll just add about a tablespoon. This is Worcestershire sauce. It's about a tablespoon. That's got a nice color. It's kind of looking a little offish, but I get the sea salt. I can roughly eye that. That should probably be good. For a meal like this, you actually want it fairly, not too salty, but more salt, the better, assuming you don't put too much in. But don't worry about the salt if you're going to just be eating this meal once in a while, and have it really good though. So it's kind of thickening, cooking off, smelling really nicely. Done with the spice. Now I'm going to cut up my sausages, get a plate out for those. So I got the sausages cut. I'm going to throw these into a pan and cook these off. And this will add a lot of flavor. It doesn't call for sausage either, but you can really throw any sort of meat into it, I guess what you want. Crab is a little too expensive for me at the moment, so go with the sausage. And this continues to cook. It's getting nice. It's got a good flavor now. Maybe a little more salt in it. Now we'll just continue to cook for a while. Steam. Throw in more stock if it gets reduced too much, and then got to bring it to a boil to get it thick. But I want to get the rice in, and that's where it says, you know, you can cook it thickly and then throw the gumbo on after and have it thick as a paste. But then if you cook the rice in, then you can't necessarily bring it to a boil because it'll get super thick and the rice won't cook correctly necessarily. So this is kind of a different way to do it. Got my basmati rice. This has been soaking for 20 minutes just to get it started. Kind of a mess in here. This is real cooking.
What happens? You're not cooking them, you're not making a mess.
That is true. Just get that, all the arsenic off, I guess. Oops, awesome. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to throw it into the mixture. Into the gumbo. So this is not necessarily correct, but this is the way I've done it in the past and seems to work out. I just like my rice to be flavorful.
Likes to wing it.
Oh, it works out.
Good to me.
It'll be very nice. That's why, yeah, to get the vegetables soft, that's the biggest thing, is getting the vegetables soft and cooking them off to a nice texture. So it'll be a little crunchier, but it's not a big deal for some people if you like a little crunch and texture in the meal.